I was talking to a friend of mine this morning on my way to work, and I was sharing with him how I'm building this app and how I'm finishing up this 2.5 weeks boot camp. We're learning about AI agents, and I was talking with him about an app that I'm building over the weekend. Unfortunately, my wife got sick over the weekend, and to kind of de-stress, because my wife does a better job than me with taking care of the kids. I got on the computer and I started creating an app that is called Meal Monkey. So this is an app. This is the Instagram page for it. Yesterday I was thinking of a way to create an automation to manage the Instagram posts for this Meal Monkey app. And I know if you're like me, especially creators out there who wants to be more consistent in posting on your Instagram to engage your audience, build your social media presence, and build your brand, especially if you're new, it's very difficult to manage Instagram account or your social media account. So today I want to show you using make.com how I built an automation where I have this 30-day campaign that I created using AI that has the caption, that has the day when we're going to be posting it, hashtags, and also the image prompts, and putting it through make.com, an automation like this, and create the post for me. So we're going to be using make.com to create our automation, and we're going to be using Buffer to schedule it, and we're going to be using Buffer's recommendation on when to schedule the post, and then it will post directly for us on Instagram. So let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully this will be something that is helpful to you. All right, so first thing you want to do is you go to make.com and you sign up for a free account. That should give you enough credits to try it out. But this is the full automation in itself. It's reading from a Google Sheet, and then it's passing the information to ChatGPT, to OpenAI, and then it's getting the file, putting it in a Google Drive, and then scheduling it in Buffer, and it just sends an email to me saying that it scheduled it on Buffer. So I'm gonna go ahead and open a new template on make.com, and we'll go ahead and build this from scratch, and we'll go through it step by step. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and create a new scenario. Okay. So first thing we need to do is we need to set up a trigger. So how will the app get started? So we're going to be reading from a Google Sheet because that's where we have um, our social media plan. So it's going to be reading from a Google Sheet. So let's go back to make.com, and we're going to be saying, let's see. Oops, sorry. So we're going to be reading. We're going to be reading through a row. So we're going to be seeing return results from. Okay, so we're going to be reading search rows, right? And then if you're not authenticated yet, you want to authenticate. So mine's already authenticated, so you want to give access to your Google Drive that has the spreadsheet for you. And then here you need to get the spreadsheet ID. So for me, it's going to be in the Meal Monkey 30-day IG content. There you go. And then you want to specify the sheet name. So mine is content calendar. So it matches this one, content calendar. There you go. All right. So let's go back to make.com, and then you can add any filter here. So for me, I want to only schedule the ones that are today. So date, and then the filter for that. So this is a good way. So for example, like I don't know what to do, right? So I would open up another ChatGPT or Claude, for example. We're going to be using Claude this time around, and I would just take a picture of this right here. So I'm going to go ahead and open. I have a tool called Snagit, so I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this one, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to put it here. Oh, another thing also, you want another tip also when you're building something, you want to say like, you want to give it a role. So I'm going to say, hey, I need you to act as a make.com specialist, and will need your help building my automation. And then another thing that I would do also is that I would give it the help file for make.com. The thing with AI, it's not perfect. It hallucinates. So you want to give it as much information and boundaries as you would want or need to make sure that it lessens the hallucination. Because AI, it's good with patterns. So if you ask it something and it doesn't know it, it will try to look for patterns on based on what it knows, and it will give you a reasonable answer. And that answer may be incorrect or not. It may be incorrect or it may be right. Okay. So so make.com help. I'm gonna say help file, for example, right? So I'm gonna say something like this. So I'm gonna say, please use this help section from make.com when recommending a solution to make sure you give me some, make sure you give me something that works with its current version. All right. So basically I'm saying, like, start right here. So I'm just giving it a roll. So again, like going back to what we're trying to do, because I just want to limit it to today's date. And I don't know the syntax for it. And I wanted to show this to you. I mean, I have the syntax from my other automation, but I wanted to show this to you to show you that you don't have to be an expert when it comes to AI. I've only been doing this since May 2025. And, I don't know the syntax. And to be honest, I don't want to remember the syntax. So there's so much stuff that I have to remember, but I'm using AI as my co-pilot, as my thought partner to help you with this, right? And of course, the more you do this, the more reps you put in, you're going to just automatically remember, the syntax and so on. So let me go ahead and, I go ahead and paste that. So I'm going to say, hey, could you please help me write a filter to only give me the record that matches today's. Here's how it looks like. So I gave it the prompt, or I gave it the section in make.com, and I'm also just gonna give it an example data of what it sees. So I'm just gonna do that. So just the first row, you don't have to give it everything. So I'm just gonna give that, and now it's gonna create the filter for me. All right. So it's I'll help you create a filter on make.com to only get records that match today's date. Let me search make. So you see this one? It's searching make.com documentation for the specific filter syntax. So that's what I was saying. Because when I started playing with make.com and not knowing this little trick right here, it would just hallucinate and give me like wrong information. So it's saying it's using this format. So this is the settings, and then it says to use this. So I'm just gonna copy this, right? And then all right, so and also gives some explanation here also, right? So we're gonna go ahead and put this, let's go ahead and go here and then put the, equal, that's not the one. So let me go ahead and go to this, copy it, and go to make.com. All right, and then also there's another field here called ready, but everything else is ready, so that's unnecessary. So I'm just gonna leave it like just the date today for simplicity. So I'm gonna go ahead and save it. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and test this one. So that's one of the things I like about make.com is that I can test my process. I can test each node or each module just to see if it works. All right, so it's testing it. So here today's the 23rd. So as you can see, there's other records, 2021, it skipped that, but it only read this one, right? Because that's what we're saying. So captures that moment when you throw away last night's food. So if you go back here, it's doing that. Okay, cool. All right, so we got the Google Sheet working. So now we need to be able to pass this on to ChatGPT. Another thing too is you want to save this. It doesn't save it automatically. So that's one thing I don't like about make.com. So I'm gonna say we'll just call IG content, generation demo. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and save this, and I'm gonna save it. All right. And then now we need to put the ChatGPT. So now what we're trying to do is we need to generate the image. So we're getting this right here, the image prompt, and passing that to ChatGPT. All right, because that's what we're trying to do next. So we're gonna go ahead and say OpenAI. So we're gonna use this guy, and then we're gonna look for generate image. All right, cool. All right, so again, same thing here. I already have the connection, but if you don't have it, you're gonna have to set it up. So I'm gonna be using DALL-E 3 and then the prompt. So this is the part where you really need to be creative, because the thing with the ChatGPT image generation, or I think for all of them, I just started playing with image generation. My son does it more, but you don't get that consistent image, right? So here's the prompt that I have. So we're going to be creating it for Meal Monkey. So I'm saying that you're a professional food photography, for Meal Monkey, so on and so on. And then I give it the requirements. So start with a claymation because I like that claymation style. So that's kind of the style that we're going for Clay Monkey. And then I give it the parameters, I give it the brand colors and things like that because I want it to be consistent. Okay. And then the example input, what it will be getting, and then the output. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and then paste it to here, right? And now we need to put the input. So we need to be able to pass this prompt right, this value right here into ChatGPT. So here it's going to be so this is the Google Sheet. So we need to look for that row. So it's going to be image prompt right here. So that's the prompt that's going to be going into ChatGPT. And then let's see, let's check advanced settings. If there's anything else, quality, standards good, URL. So you can say, do you want it a URL or do you want it an image file? URL is, you get the link obviously. And then the image file is the actual, image that gets downloaded. So I'm gonna actually do an image file because we're gonna upload it to Google Drive. So I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Okay. See if that works. All right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the Google Drive. All right. And then we're gonna do upload a file. Right. So upload a file. All right. And then same thing here. You gotta authenticate and then also figure out which folder you want to put it. My drive, and then I'm gonna put it in. Okay, just put it there. And then let's see, the file is gonna be it's gonna be downloading it from OpenAI right here. All right, so you can also map it. So that's the image, spawn data, but I think this should be okay. Okay, we'll try it out. Okay, convert file. Nope, I'm not sure why we got that error. Not sure what that is, but let's see. Let's test it out. I'm not sure what that means. All right, value must not be empty. Okay, let's open this up. See what's going on. Map, I think. Oh, because I think we did this one. All right, so we'll say save. All right, so let's go ahead and test this. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it once, and let's see what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that drive. So it's processing the image right now. There you go. And now it's going to Google Drive. There you go. So let's go ahead and check out Google Drive. Let me just refresh this one. Oh, it's right here. So this is the one that I have in my other workflow that I showed you, but this is the one 3 o'clock p.m. 3 o'clock p.m. So let's go ahead and open it up. Let's see how it looks like. So this is the part where we need to update the prompt because it's like this guy's like naked, right? It's weird. All right, so let's go back here. All right, so this is a good example. So I'm gonna go ahead and download this one, and then I'm gonna go to here. Hi, can you please help us update the prompt and the image generation to make the claymation more realistic. Example with clothes, etc. Please analyze the image and the necessary recommendation. All right. So again, we're using Claude here to improve what we have. So I'm gonna give Claude, please update the prompt for the image generation. See, and let's say please see attached image. Prompt generated. And please improve. All right. All right. So here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that prompt. So where did I put that? All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna copy it here, and we're gonna try to improve it. All right. So as you can see here, we're using Claude here. I was gonna say ChatGPT to improve our prompt for for OpenAI. All right. So it's saying, look at this image. I can see several issues. The current character is too abstract, cartoonish, lack of real secure features. It's completely naked. Come on, that's crazy, right? All right, so updated prompt with improvements, this and that. All right, so let's see what it does. Information character, picture quality, casual everyday clothing. I like that. Inspired by, it's actually giving like specifically Kubo, owl dogs and so on. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. This looks good. And then please give us the updated prompt with these recommendations. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and ask ChatGPT to. All right, so now it's improving the prompt for us, right? This is great. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and update our prompt with this new enhanced prompt and see how it looks like. So that's what I was saying earlier with image generation. Well, it's actually kind of my fault. It's like garbage in, garbage out, right? But as you can see, we can use AI to not write it from scratch. I mean, we can write it from scratch. Like typically, what I would do is I usually use my mic and I would just babble and tell AI like what I'm thinking about and then have AI refine it. So we're gonna go ahead and test this again. So let me just change this actually because it's saying to run every 15 minutes. It's gonna destroy my token. So I'm gonna say on demand activate scenario. Oh, looks like there are unsafe changes in the scenario. So I like it how it's saying that for us now. So we're gonna go ahead and save it, and then we're gonna go ahead and just run it. All right, let's check it out. All right, it's going through ChatGPT right now, and then it's going to go to Google Drive. Then we're going to put it on Buffer, and that's the next step. So let's test out how the image looks like, and then we'll put it on Buffer. All right, so now it's on ChatGPT. Now it's on Google Drive. So let's go ahead to our Google Drive, see how that looks like. So that's the 305 one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. Actually, let's leave it open so we can kind of compare. Let's see how it looks like. So this looks more realistic, right? It looks more premium, And let's just see what was said. Like, what was the prompt? So image of a person sadly putting leftover container in trash can. Moody lighting to convey guilt, waste, include small text. So this one says include small text overlay, but we actually didn't. We got rid of that one. So it's this one could have been, it could have been better, but hey, it looks really good. So I'm pretty happy with that compared to this one looks so I don't know what's going on here. But it's part of the journey. And one of the things that I love about the bootcamp that I joined with Harold is talking about like building fast, shipping fast, and learning. So that's what we're doing here. We're building, we're shipping, we're learning, right? All right, so now we got the image going on, and now we want to put it on Buffer. So we're gonna go ahead and call Buffer. That's the one I'm using. So Buffer right here, and we're gonna be creating a status update. Cool. All right. So here we're gonna be using a Meal Monkey. I have my wife's here too, so I'm gonna use Meal Monkey, and then the text would be the caption from Google Sheet right here. So let's look at the caption right here, which is this one. And also we want to put the hashtag. So I want to put the hashtag, right? And then also, we don't want to post immediately, but we want to put it at the top of the queue. All right. And then attach media, yes. And then the media link. So this one's tricky. So for this one, it's going to be, I think it's going to be the web view link right here. So let's try that, see if it works. And then link to an image is going to be the web view link. And then the thumbnail is going to be the thumbnail link. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and save this one. And let's go ahead and save this first. And let's go ahead and run it. All right, so it's going through ChatGPT again. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one just to, reduce some noise. All right, so go ahead, reduce that one. All right, so let's go back to here. So let's just kind of review where we're at. So like I said, as you can see, when we first started, when we created a chat with Claude, and we're saying that, hey, you're a make.com specialist, and we actually gave it the make.com help file again to make sure that it's prioritizing that when it's trying to figure out what answer to give to us. Right. And then as you saw in the first one, we're going to run into a lot of these instances where we don't know what to put, and we're using AI to give us the value that we need. Right. And then also here, as you can see with the image generation, we need to keep tweaking our GPT prompt to make it better. As you can see from the first one, this looks really weird. It looks like an octopus or something. But yeah, it's part of the journey. All right. So where are we now? So it looks like it's had an issue. So this is the one I'm saying. So it looks like if you want to handle this error, let's see what's going on here. More information about So it looks like it was having issue with the file, I think. Yeah, so the media. Looks like it was having problem with that one. So let's change this one to, if it's not, I think it's the, yeah, so it's either the web view or the web content. I think it's the web content. Let me change it. Okay. So web content. Web content, web content. I think it's web content actually. With agents or with the automation, the way it works is that you have your module and every module needs an input. So for example, like for this one, for buffer, the input is the caption, the images, right? And then the output will be the actual scheduling on buffer, right? So same thing for the Google Drive. The input was the file from ChatGPT, and then the output is the file being stored on Google Drive. All right, so let's go ahead and run this again. Let's see. I wonder if I can just run it from here. So run this module only. Oops. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. So let's just do this. So let's see. Okay. Oh, there you go. Let's see. All right. So we're having some issue here. It looks like. All right. So let's just start it from here. Let's start from the beginning actually. So this is always something that I usually trip over, this part right here. Let's go ahead and save this one. So let's go ahead and save, and then we'll run it. All right, so it finished running. So again, the issue was this one right here. It was web content, not the web view one. So it's web content. Okay, so you might run into that issue. So it took me a while to figure that out, but once you figure it out, now it's here. So now at that moment when you throw your last night's perfect dinner, and then you can see the picture here. There's a picture. Wow, that looks pretty epic actually. Now that the prompt is out, now that we prove it, it looks more like Kubo or something like that, right? It looks more premium. So let's go back to here. Let's just open that picture. So it's 311. Wow, that looks really, really nice, right? So now what's going to happen is for the next 30 days, let's just kind of review. I have this Google Sheet of my social media content, my plan, and then it's going to go through our automation right here, right? And then it's going to post it on Buffer. So right here. So tomorrow it's going to be posting tomorrow is going to be 11. It looks like the next posting date is tomorrow, which is July 24, 10:45. So it pulled today's schedule, but then it's posting it based on the next available time for buffer. So really cool. All right. Hopefully you find this video helpful, and I hope that this is also encouraging for you to try out these automation, try out these new tools with generative AI. And also, I hope that, by us actually building this from the beginning, you also show how we have to troubleshoot it. And also when we face a challenge or a wall where we don't know how to deal with it, we're using other AI like Claude. You can also use ChatGPT or Gemini to help us as our thought partner to get over that hurdle. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hope to see you guys again next time.